following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network and our review show here of AEW Dynamite. From what date would that be? The 10th of November, 2021. I am your host with the most on the West Coast, Karlifornia. What a joy, what an honor, what a privilege to be with you all once again. And of course, I must introduce my esteemed co-host, the one and only salmon jacket wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a bitch, Jooseyboy. What's going on, bro?
What is up, my friend? What is up, everybody watching here on the WZWA Network YouTube channel? Another episode of Dynamite, done and dusted. AEW has been on the bubble as far as the reviews go for this channel. And on Saturday at Full Gear, it goes before the parole board. And, but we'll see. We're not at Full Gear yet. We got to get through this episode of Dynamite. We saw quite a bit happen. Let's get into it, my friend.
Absolutely, you little prick. Yeah, I love it.
Can you fucking cunt?
I just love the unnecessary insult. Fantastic. Okay,
Woo!
bro. Look, what do you think, bro? Look, check this out. I've never really worn this shirt because it's always been a little bit big for me, but I've been drinking a few too many beers lately, so now it fits like a fucking gem, mate. What do you think? Do you get it? Do you get the reference?
Cowboy shit, bro. Very nice.
Cowboy shit. Yeah.
Like I can smell the manhood on you. You know.
Yeah, bro. Thank you. Definitely manhood. All right, bro. Dynamite. Okay, it has been. Let's have a look. Let's fucking have a look, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 weeks, 15 shows, if you're including the pay-per-view, some editions of Rampage as well. Okay. We were a lot more positive about the product, as it seems, heading from Fight for the Fallen up until All Out. Then there was a massive drop between, I guess, late September up until this episode here today on the 10th of November. This show has been teetering on me several occasions, bro. We had a week break at one stage, and I was thankful for it because I was very mad. It's been teetering on us considering not reviewing it anymore. But going into this review, I will say this: I'm not in a bad mood. My blood is not boiling today, so that's a good sign for our Dynamite reviews going forward, bro. Just wanted to put that out there. And before we begin, bro, I just want to say to Tony Khan, he put out that tweet asking the fans to get a friend to watch the show today. And I have a problem with it for several reasons, and I'm sure you do too. So I just wanted to talk about this quickly before we get into the review. You shouldn't have to ask people to watch the show. If you put on a show like this show every single week, then you wouldn't be having, I don't think he'd be having as many problems as he is with the ratings. And there was improvements that needed to be done on this show today. I'm not giving a complete pass, but this was way better than I'd say like the last 8 weeks. Like, this is the best show since All Out. I think I will say that. Bro, what do you think about Tony putting out a tweet, kind of people saying he was like begging? He wasn't begging, but teetering another time I'm using that word, teetering on begging people to give the show another chance, because obviously the ratings keep going down every week. And you didn't think maybe that would happen when Punk Danielson came in. So what do you think, bro?
Well, I think that it's one thing, bro, to like throw your support behind your own show and be your own biggest fan. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I know Vince McMahon is the world's most diehard WWE fan. So that's fine. But, you know, it's not a very good look. You know, I agree with you. It's just not a good look. Whether he intended to come off in a begging, pleading manner is beside the point, because it's social media, and once it gets put out there, it's thrown out there for everyone else to deconstruct through whatever they got going on in their own lives. You know, it was just inevitable that some people were going to perceive it as being kind of a puppy dog attempt to like, oh, please watch my show. And it's really unfortunate that he chose to make that tweet, given what should have been obvious people's reaction would be, because I'm sure some people probably went out of their way not to watch Dynamite just to spite him for sending that tweet. And that's a shame, because, yeah, like you said, this was a good episode, probably the best one in a number of weeks. You know, it's just, we're not supposed to be too heavy with the comparisons here on this review, but I just can't picture Vince McMahon sending out a similar tweet about the WWE product. You know, it's like, and I think wrestling in general, bro, it should be here's this crazy, wild sport where anything can happen and there's heroes and villains. And you guys are just lucky enough to be allowed to get tickets to come and watch it in the arena. Like, you're just lucky enough that this is televised so that you can witness this. You know, and when you send out tweets like that, it doesn't make AEW seem like destination viewing. It comes across like an indie promoter that's, you know, trying to make sure he gets more than 25 people watching his internet pay-per-view, begging people to watch. But at least if it was a small-time promoter, they'd have that excuse. Tony Khan's running the second biggest wrestling organization in the world. Yeah, and I don't want to harp on it, but yeah, not a great look at all. I think that it does more harm than good.
It just opens him up to getting picked on and poked at. And one other thing I want to say before we get on with the review is I think he needs to stop doing interviews where he just tells everybody the inside story on everything that happens and how he does his thing. He shouldn't be going out there telling everyone that he writes the show and the matches he wants on the show. Then he passes it on to QT Marshall, who gives it a once over and formats it for him. Then it goes through all of the VPs, and then Punk looks at it, and then Bryan Danielson. Like, bro, we don't need to know the secret, okay? We don't need to know everything and the way that you go about doing the show. We don't need to know all that. Just keep it a secret. Make people wonder what it's about.
Yeah.
Now we know you've got so many cooks in the kitchen looking at this thing. No wonder the show seems muddled sometimes and seems like a bit of a mess, because everyone's trying to get their shit in there when you should just trust yourself or find someone else to maybe work with who's got experience to make sure that you don't make mistakes like you have in the last 10 weeks. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, bro.
Yeah, that also is not going to be great perception-wise. I think that explaining it that way, going into intimate detail about the process that he's using to put the show together, you know, it makes it seem like it's almost a rinky-dink show where they've just got, oh, check out this shit. You know, Tony Khan writes a bunch of shit on his phone and then sends it to QT Marshall and Messenger, and he formats it into something coherent, you know, and he's probably not a miracle worker. So it's no wonder, based on this new information, that, yeah, sometimes the show seems muddled. But once again, it doesn't project the image, bro, of a strong visionary leader of this company who knows what he wants and how he's going to get to those objectives. It just screams more of like, oh, we're all just having fun with my dad's money, you know, and it just happens to be really popular because people have been so sick of WWE for years. Again, I think that's a bad look.
I agree, bro. And especially when he says things like, you know, Ted Turner knew as much as I knew about wrestling, WCW would still be around. That's such a stupid thing to say.
That's absurd.
It's like you're not even taking everything that needs to be taken into account for that. That Ted Turner was a wrestling fan, but maybe he wasn't a diehard wrestling fan that knew everything about the business. But
because
self-made billionaire.
Yeah, Ted Turner was one of the most important people in the United States of America at that time. He was a player. He was one of the elite in society. Yes, he was a wrestling fan from going back to his good old boy days. He doesn't need to know as much about wrestling as you anyway, Tony Khan, because he had the money and infrastructure to simply put the wrestling show on the air and then left it in the hands of people that he deemed more knowledgeable than himself to run it and organize it. And by the time WCW went out of business as well, Ted Turner had no control over anything going on in his former company because it had already merged with, they'd already done the Time Warner AOL merger by that point. And in the years preceding, Ted Turner had been slowly pushed out of Turner to make way for this type of merger, which I'm led to believe Ted Turner was against. So it's a completely ridiculous comment to make. It's a completely, once again, it comes across like some smarmy indie promoter that's just jealous that he doesn't have the popularity and the name value of the other guy. So he's finding a reason to pick on, in this case, Ted Turner. Just keep your mouth shut, bro. Just worry about your own product, you know? When he worries about his own product and nothing else, they're capable of doing good stuff. But all this, you know, the longer that this company has existed, bro, Tony Khan gets a little bit more and more into the public eye every year. And I don't think that that's a good thing either.
Yeah, you know, I really hope this is all a work with Eric Bischoff. I doubt it. But yeah, it's like, man, don't compare yourself to WCW. He reckons it's like the same level of WCW 96. No. Let's get on with the review.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do, honestly, guys, like side note.
Do a whole episode on this.
Johnny sidebar. Yeah, we could sit here for a whole episode and just discuss the ramifications of what that tweet meant and the impact of WCW. The final thing that I'll say on that, man, is WCW was not only bigger than AEW is now, but it was also something that had never been seen in wrestling before. Another product going up against WWF. So yeah, that's that, Tony.
That's it, bro. Okay, bro, let's get on with the review. I wrote first and foremost, how will this company handle a go-home show this time? Because last time it wasn't a very good go-home show before Full Gear. I think we both gave it a 5 out of 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember being disappointed in it. But we opened the show once again with a match. Bryan Danielson versus Rocky Romero. I will let you take this one, bro. What did you think of this opening match up here on Dynamite?
Look, the work in the ring was absolutely phenomenal. I'm a fan of both guys. Danielson and Romero have been friends going back a long time. They've been on a lot of the same NWA and Japanese tours over the years. So I'd imagine that Rocky Romero has now been brought in on his Bryan Danielson's direct recommendation. That's fine and all. I said to you when this match came on, once again, it's the classic saying on here, man, the foregone conclusion of it was obvious that Rocky Romero wasn't going to win. And it put Rocky Romero basically in the Bobby Fish situation where now he is a new talent that's just entered the show, but he has to be the sacrificial lamb because he happens to be wrestling Bryan Danielson, who definitely can't lose at this point in time. It's just, I understand that Bryan Danielson probably wants to work with these guys, but at least let them get a few wins under their belt, you know, before you have that match against Bryan Danielson, so that when they lose, it doesn't look like they've just come into the company and started losing straight off the blocks, especially in a product where wins and losses supposedly matter. The match itself, I'd give it a B+. I thought it was tremendous in the ring. I'd expect nothing less, but there was very little heat on it.
Yeah, bro, this is a problem that I've had for a long time, and it got given a good amount of time, but okay, first and foremost, they start name dropping Okada. I noticed on Twitter today, everyone's, oh, no, don't bother. Don't go there. It's not going to move the needle at all. Trust me, he's doing just fine where he is. So, yeah, very good match. Very good, but yeah, how often do we see this? Cold match, no build to it. And that's okay. Sometimes matches for the sake of competition are good. But in this instance, why does Bryan Danielson need to have a match at this point when he's already locked in with a pay-per-view match, which is the finals of an eliminator tournament, where you become the number one contender? This match does nothing for him going higher up. It just gives him a win on his win-loss record, but it doesn't do anything to push him up to a higher part of the, rankings, because he's already at that peak. He's already in a number one contenders match coming up. So this isn't necessary because a win does nothing for him here. A loss certainly doesn't help his situation. So we all know who's winning this match ahead of time. That's why this foregone conclusion isn't particularly a good one, whereas the Wardlow foregone conclusion isn't as bad because, it's a completely different situation. So that's one thing I wanted to say. I would have rather Ricky Starks open the show. We haven't seen anything from Team Taz in fucking weeks. I would have rather seen something from them. So many other people I'd rather seen. You could have done something else with Danielson in the show. He didn't need a wrestle on this show. That being said, I'm never offended watching him wrestle. I like his matches. Rocky Romero, as you just said, this is the Bobby Fish treatment. Come in, drop a bunch of losses out of the gate, get back some of your wins on Dark and Elevation, probably, that no one's going to see except you're a real diehard AEW fan. So in the eyes of the people, the casuals that might be tuning in, every time they will see a guy like a Bobby Fish or a Rocky Romero, they'll just know them as the guy that lost to this person. Also thought, man, this might have been a nice chance to also maybe get Matt Hardy to actually wrestle on the show. I know he did do a little bit here and there with Orange later on, but again, I just think you got this roster of people. There's people that aren't getting used, Brian Cage, etc. You can be probably slotting them in a bit more. So Brian wins, good match, but I don't think this is necessary on the show whatsoever. A good, great match, cold match is a dime a dozen at the moment with AEW. So I wasn't too happy with the start of the show, but again, it's okay. Moving forward, bro. Tony's in the ring. He's going to be interviewing the Inner Circle. Tony's great. I was really impressed with his opening lines here. Calls out the Inner Circle. Mute. I've written. Again, I don't know how many weeks in a row, ladies and gentlemen, but we don't like listening to the fans sing along. What I do like, though, is that there was an attack. Something unexpected. Thank you, AEW. Thank you. Because I thought to myself, if I have to keep sitting here watching them do this entrance, the fans singing for another year, I'm going to have a mental breakdown. We popped for Scorpio Sky in a turtleneck. The beatdown was fantastic. I had in capital letters, I love this. Yes, I love that. It was going on like this, and then Dan Lambert powerbombing Jericho through the table reminded us of the hilariousness of QT Marshall choke slamming Paul White. I love that the powerbomb was kind of shit and that he's celebrating. Then Lambert locks in.
The old slogan, Carl. Managers should manage like their wrestlers and wrestle like their managers. It should
Excellent,
look a little
absolutely.
shitty.
That's it. And then, of course, he locks in a Walls of Jericho, exclaiming, "This is a Boston crab." And then he fucking championship wrestling from Florida, 1970, whatever. Like all these fans, like, we don't care. But like they're getting great heat. Really love this segment. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, lovely start to the show here. Wasn't offended by the first match, but this really made me laugh and smile. And I just wrote, Lambert is incredible. Bro, your turn. I know you were chuffed with this too because you're not the biggest fan of the Inner Circle right now. So please let me know how this tickled your fancy.
Well, I think the thing that bothers me most about the Inner Circle is that I think all of them, including Chris Jericho, because I've seen it before for 20 years, have potential to be awesome, but it's just the way that they're being used and the way that they're being presented. Not a fan. Anyway, I echo a lot of the same sentiments as you. Some of the highlights for me, before I noticed Scorp's gorgeous turtleneck, I noticed that Ethan Page went out of his way to take Ortiz's beanie off of his head and put it on. So now he's delivering this beatdown wearing Ortiz's hat. That was awesome. I loved the fact that this was just heels getting some heat and no one came down to rescue him. They didn't have another faction come down like the Dark Order or some other babyface come down to freaking rescue him. It was just like, nope, the heels are getting some heat. Brilliant idea to have Dan Lambert himself be the focal point of this beatdown because Dan Lambert as the manager in this match is the sacrificial lamb. And I think a lot of the intrigue behind this match is that people want to see Dan Lambert get in the ring and get his ass whooped, particularly by Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. So yeah, this went tremendously to me. I want to shout out Inner Circle as well for doing a nice sell job. I thought that they all sold really well. It came across like this was a serious beatdown, even though American Top Team was having fun. It was like in the background, Inner Circle's not having fun. They've just had the crap kicked out of them. Nice work there. Honestly, man, A- for this. This was good. This was really enjoyable.
Excellent, Brian. Another little detail that I liked. Who was the bald guy that just gave that fucking shot to Sammy Guevara in the gut? The bald guy.
It's not Andre Arlovsky.
Is it Van Zant or whatever? I don't know. I can't remember
Van
the names.
Van Zant's the woman.
The woman, okay. Whoever the guy was.
Yeah, it's not Tito Ortiz, but
yeah, I love the sharp jab to the gut, bro. That was awesome. And he was so proud of himself. He looked like a real bully. So, bro, heat. Mm-hmm. Too often I feel like there's happy endings to things, and I like heat. I like to see that not everything's fucking hunky-dory.
It's
moving forward, bro.
Fans, just one final point. That's a good point you make, man, about heat, because wrestling fans these days, they've forgotten that it's okay for them to leave a wrestling show being pissed off at it. Because if they leave a wrestling show being pissed off at it, you're going to be all the more eager to go back again and see your heroes whoop the asses of the people that just pissed you off. That's all this is. All right.
Yeah. Why do you think the NWO worked for at least a good portion of time before they started fucking it up? Because the hot air balloon, bro. Kevin Sullivan with the hot air balloon. You keep any time that the babyface get back on them, the hot air balloon goes smaller. No, keep building the heat every week. And then finally, when something great happens, then it's like Luger beating Hogan for the belt on Nitro, the fucking eruption, bro. Goldberg beating Hogan, the eruption. That's what makes it meaningful.
I remember the elation when me and my brother as children saw the episode of Raw where the entire Raw roster led by Randy Orton has a revolt against Evolution, and the end of the episode, after months and months of dominance by Evolution, ends with Randy Orton and the entire roster beating the crap out of Evolution, finishing with Triple H begging for mercy. He gets brought up by Orton, laid out with the RKO. That's the go-home show to their pay-per-view. Evolution has finally been dethroned. The whole building was going crazy. Me and my brother, I remember we were in the lounge room going like, yes, 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 yes. And you know why? Because we just spent the previous 10 months being fucking pissed off every week because Evolution beat the tar out of every babyface on the roster and never got their comeuppance in all that time. But boy, it was so worth it in the end when we finally got to that beatdown that they suffered. So yeah, this is on a smaller scale, another version of that. If you think you're pissed off now because of what Dan Lambert's been saying and doing, well, how sweet is it going to be watching him get the crap kicked out of him at the pay-per-view?
Yeah, and you know what, bro? This isn't going to be popular. I'd have him pin Jericho.
Yes.
I'd have him fucking pin Jericho, bro.
Like tag in.
Yeah. And then fucking extend this thing a bit longer and he'll finally get the comeuppance later down the line. Maybe that big show that they've got going on in January or something like that.
That'd be nuclear heat.
Don't fucking take the hot air out of the balloon just yet. Please give us a Dan Lambert victory on pay-per-view on Jericho. That would fuck a lot of fans off. I would love it. Okay, bro. Moving forward, it's Britt time, baby. It's Britt time. Gotta love Britt Baker. I haven't been impressed with how they've utilized her in the last 6 weeks, I'd say. I kind of felt like heading into Full Gear, despite the fact, the Red Velvet thing wasn't really going that well because I don't think Velvet was ready for that position. I think, sorry, I'm not talking about Red Velvet. I can't remember who Britt faced in the pay-per-view. Statlander.
Yeah,
Statlander. Right. That was great. All that stuff was great, and she was firing on all cylinders. And then after that, I feel like things have dropped off for her when she was. Remember her in Britsburg for Rampage, how the fans were reacting there. They really were doing some good stuff with her, and since then I haven't been happy with the creative that they've had for her, especially as it pertains to this feud with Conti, who has been very impressive in the ring recently and proves that she should be in this position and not somebody like Red Velvet, who definitely needs more work. That being said, bro, 6 women tag team matchup. It's Anna Jay, it's Conti, it is Thunder Rosa taking on Rebel, Jamie Hayter, and of course, Britt Baker. Fuck. I'm gonna let you take this one, bro. The token women's match on the show. What did you think?
Yeah, cheers, cunt. This was probably one of the best AEW women's matches in several weeks. We have had a couple of weeks on both AEW and WWE programming where the ladies' matches perhaps haven't been agented the best, and they've been a little wonky here and there. This was a return to form for the ladies this week. I thought it was a tremendous match. All the ladies looked great. I thought that this did a particularly good job, Carl, of like highlighting each individual participant in the match. But at the same time, it felt like these were 2 teams that were working together against each other. It wasn't just a thrown together 6-man with 6 random women in it, which is something you'd often see on WWE TV. At one point, I believe it was Rebel dived off the top to the outside on top of Jamie Hayter with a crossbody.
It's Thunder Rosa that dived off the top rope.
Thunder Rosa, that's right. Thunder Rosa dived onto Jamie. Why did I say Rebel? They're on the same team. Thunder Rosa gets on the top and dives to the outside, lands on Jamie Hayter with the crossbody block. I don't know if she was a little bit too close or what happened, but she landed really heavy on Jamie Hayter's face and head. That looked really rough. I hope that she's okay. I hope that nothing serious has happened in terms of concussions and stuff. You could even see Thunder Rosa immediately check on her. I know that we harp on about kayfabe and taking it seriously, But in a situation like that, you know what? I think that it's total. I don't mind her checking on her because it actually just highlights how brutal it actually was. Like even Thunder Rosa was like disturbed by the violence of it. So, you know, hopefully she's okay. Other than that, I thought that this match was firing on all cylinders. The crowd loves Anna Jay. You know, there's a lot of popular women in AEW. Thunder Rosa is, you know, extremely popular and gaining more popularity every day. Anna Jay, to me, is potentially the future of the women's division in this company. She looks tremendous. She carries herself with a lot of poise. And this is not a judgment on who she is because I don't know her personally, but she comes across like the girl next door type. She's got a beautiful smile that the camera loves. She's really been improving in the ring. She's obviously a great athlete. So with more time in the ring, I think that she is potentially a future AEW women's champion. You know, and I think that there's a tremendous upside marketing wise for that to happen. But so yeah, she did great. Everyone did great. Ty Conti, of course, continues to fire on all cylinders. I'm going to give the ladies a B+ for this match. I thought it was fantastic. I could go on for the whole episode about different things I liked about this match. It was just really refreshing to see the women get a real good amount of time to sink their teeth into and really have a great showcase heading into the pay-per-view here.
Yep, I agree, bro. I thought this match was better than the opening match. I thought the fans were more into it. No botches. Everything just seemed to fire on all cylinders here, and the whole point of this was to make Ty Conti look like a threat to Britt Baker going into the pay-per-view. Yeah. We know Britt's probably going to be going over, but still, Britt going up that ramp, you know, clutching the belt, that's the kind of stuff we want to see if we're going to have babyface up and heel down in a segment building to a match on a pay-per-view. So, good stuff. And yes, just very impressed with the matchup. Moving forward, bro, there is a Ruby Soho Statlander hype video. What did you think of this?
I liked it. A-. Very well done.
Yep, very good. Nothing else really to add there. They did this last week as well. Moving forward, we hit the mute button because it's Jungle Boy's entrance. I like the facial hair. I'm going to say I think he needs to keep the facial hair and keep growing it out. Don't get it too long, but, you know, I think it makes him look more like a man. It's necessary, I think.
A little bit more rugged.
Yeah, without the beard, he does look like he's about 16 years old. So he needs to keep that facial hair, I think. Happy that it's involving Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Caster, you know, in Australia we say Max Caster, mate, but in America it's Max Caster. He kills it again. Fantastic work. And after he finished his rap and Bowens finished up on the mic as well, I just wrote in capital letters, how are these guys not on Dynamite every week, or at least more often than not? How are they not involved in feuds and stories? I know that they've got a lot of people on the roster, but man, you know, they've got a really great tag team there. That, you know, they're stuck in this kind of lower echelon because up here we've got FTR, the Young Bucks, and all that stuff. They're stuck behind below a glass ceiling there. Me and you wanted Bowens to win. We knew it wasn't going to happen.
No.
Great DDT from Bowens that we thought should have been the win, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. The snare trap gets the victory. All of a sudden, Bobby Fish attacks after the match. We wrote why, or I wrote why. We'll find out later on. And the only other problem I had with this was that Jungle Boy's theme song played to end the segment. No, when somebody is up at the end of the segment, their theme song plays. So Bobby Fish's theme song should have played here after Christian Cage and Luchasaurus chased him off. Okay, bro, your turn. What did you think?
Yeah, I basically felt pretty similar to you in this. I didn't really think like the match itself, like I was very entertained by it, but I think in ring wise, it never really got out of second gear for me. I agree with you. I don't understand why fucking the Acclaimed aren't being used a lot more and why they aren't more of a priority in the tag division. They are fantastic. I liked the Bobby Fish beatdown in retrospect with what we found out after. And I'd probably give this a C plus, your favorite grade. This was again not offensive, although in my perfect world, I would have also had Anthony Bowens win the match.
We knew that wasn't going to happen, bro. But look, this is okay. We get to a backstage promo. The Bucks are backstage with Adam Cole. No mention of the fact that Cole had his fucking head smashed in last week with a steel chair on that concerto. Yeah. He's in perfectly fine condition. So now you've undersold the effects of what a concerto should do. Was not happy with that. I don't know what happened on Rampage, if they were on the show or not. I don't know if anything else happened this week. But the fact of the matter is, I thought that something should have been said about that, considering it happened fucking last week and the effects of that should still be there. Anyway, nice to see, it was going to happen at some point, Cole and Bobby Fish meeting up, and that, Cole is, I guess, getting Fish to be involved in this to try and get the odds in their favor going into the pay-per-view 6-man tag falls count anywhere match. This is what I want to say. Okay, Bowens didn't win, but Bobby Fish needs to beat Jungle Boy at Rampage. He needs to beat him. It needs to be a screw job thanks to the Bucks and to Cole. I don't want to see, I'm not going to watch the show, but I do not want to know that Jungle Boy beats him. Bobby Fish needs a win at this point over somebody with a name in this company. Because he's already fallen short against Danielson. He's already fallen short against Guevara. He's already fallen short against Punk. He needs this win. Thoughts?
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that last bit. I do think Bobby Fish is in desperate need of a good win. Look, you know what? It makes sense to me that Bobby Fish would be aligned with the Elite because him and Adam Cole were both in the Undisputed faction in NXT not even that long ago, so it's in people's recent memory. Good idea to reassociate them on the show in this product. The Young Bucks tried to reference it and tried to be edgy. It didn't really work. I don't think anyone really cared. Adam Cole stole the scene again. He's clearly the most charismatic out of everyone in that segment. The Young Bucks kind of took the piss out of it again. It felt like they were trying to make the segment all about them instead of just letting it be Adam Cole and Bobby Fish's moment. So I'm giving it an F because it pissed me off instead of just informing me of this new development.
Yeah, the shot ends with Matt Jackson looking at the camera like an idiot, like
just
yeah, exactly. I like the whole thing except for the end. And it's good that they played off the fact that they have a past together. Moving forward, something else I liked on the show, despite the fact that I wrote down, I don't know why that they're doing this, but then I found out at the end there was a reason for it, thankfully. Willie Yuta taking on Wardlow. Exactly what should have happened. Wardlow fucking destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
Looked impressive. Those power bombs looked fantastic. The crowd actually kind of popped for him. After the match, HFO attacks the best friends, leaves them laying, and then we get a nice little twist of fate with a chair involved from Matt Hardy on Orange Cassidy. This feud's still going. Mm-hmm. This has been going for a good 3 months now, I think, which I have no problem with. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are going, oh my God, Mike, when's it going to be over already? Mate, take it easy. I wrote good. I was happy with that segment. And good to see Wardlow getting a victory because, it seems like he only gets some Dynamite when he's losing to somebody that is facing MJF on pay-per-view. Bro, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was really good to actually see, again, another segment where there was some heat. This ended up being in favor of the heels. Matt Hardy with the twist of hate, the twist of fate executed with the chair around his neck. The fact that Excalibur miscalled it as a side effect, and Tony Schiavone, who wasn't even watching wrestling during most of Matt Hardy's career, or he was in the other company, the fact that he knew that it was a twist of hate, not even just a regular twist of fate, and Excalibur didn't even get twist of fate right, that is telling about the difference in their abilities. Anyone that thinks Excalibur's the best announcer on the team, go fuck yourselves. You couldn't be more wrong. This segment is getting a B+. I thought that this entire thing was really well done, and it was so good getting to see a big hoss actually squash somebody smaller. And they didn't have to get an equal amount of offense or any bullshit like that. It was a dominant performance by Wardlow here.
Yep. Excellent, bro. Moving forward, what do you fucking know? 14 weeks, bro. And we find out that they do have a parking lot in these buildings. Wow. They could have been doing so many things involving a parking lot. Parking lot stuff always gets over. It's always good. Even simple things of people just arriving to the arena or whatever. There's a big pull apart with Punk and Kingston. Everyone's loving it. I popped seeing Sanjay Dutt there. What do you fucking know that there's other areas of the building that can be utilized? Let's keep doing that. Let's shave minutes off these long matches and do more things like this. I just think it's important, so I really liked it. It was exciting for me seeing this. It got me more pumped up for the matchup. I think, though, that it's kind of silly that this was the only time that these two are seen on the show. Don't want to bring up a negative when there's so much positive here, but you could have threaded this through the show. You could have had them pulled apart elsewhere in catering. You could have had them pulled apart, in just in other areas of the building. You could have had this thread through the show a couple of times before it's like, okay, we need to get them both out of the building in a car and like out of here, or at least one of them in the car and sent to the airport to go home. Something like that. Wait until Saturday, guys. Wait until Saturday. That's what should have happened. This is where somebody that's in an authority type position that is not Tony Khan can step in. You don't want an authority figure that's going to be all over the show, that's going to be a pain in the ass. Good God, we've seen this guy again and again and again. No, let's just have like an authority figure that can be somebody that can do stuff like this and get someone the hell out of there. Just wanted to say that. Anyway, bro, what did you think of this?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. It goes back to the whole idea of if that was the only time we saw them on the show, why were they there to begin with then? If they weren't even going to be used on the show. Other than that, I liked the segment in a vacuum. I thought it was pretty well done. There's some heat on this match, despite the fact they only started building to it a few weeks ago. I think that this should have been a longer feud going in. It should have been established earlier on that this was Punk's direction that he was going in. I feel like they've only just decided in the last few weeks that they're going to put Punk against Kingston, and so I would have preferred more build, especially since both guys are so good on the mic. But overall, I'd give this a B-. I thought it was quite well done. Punk has definitely helped legitimize this product a lot more.
That's it, shit stick. This is what I want to say as it pertains to this, okay? I don't want this to be one and done at the pay-per-view. I want them to extend this and keep it going, okay? I don't want them to go against the grain like they have done in the past with Eddie Kingston. It's working. Keep it going. There can be more that can be achieved with this. If this is one and done at the pay-per-view, it'll be shame on you, Tony, okay? When you know something's working, and if you ever see this, which you won't, but if you ever see this and you see something's working, there's nothing wrong with extending it and pushing other plans back, because you can get more fucking juice out of the fucking thing. You can get more out of it, and you can hopefully draw some money with it if you capture the spirit of some casual fans wanting to see Punk finally in an angle after all these weeks where he's just had matches. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say there. I'm going to let you take this next one, bro, because this is your most anticipated match on the show. And for me, one of my least. Nothing against him, but it's Leo Rush, Dante Martin. Lee Moriarty and Matt Sydal in this tag team match that was kind of set up last week backstage. What did you think, my friend?
Well, I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm a big fan of Dante Martin, as I've made clear. A tag team match with all smaller, high-flying guys in it means that it's perfectly acceptable for him to dive and fly around and do all this crazy stuff, because that's the kind of wrestlers they are, and they're all facing off against each other. So it's an opportunity for me to really enjoy that style, because I feel like it's got a reason for happening in that context. I thought that Lio Rush is slowly winning me over. I've heard recently that he's been dealing with a lot of mental health issues and that he's coming out of them recently. And so congratulations to him. It's tough dealing with mental health issues. I know he's a father as well, and he's married, so he's got responsibilities. Good on him for getting better and fighting through it. Good to see him back. This looked like this performance by Lio Rush here in this tag match, Carl, was what Lio Rush's debut back in that Battle Royal should have been all that time ago. He looked like he was on fire. He looked like he was just really in the moment and really firing on all cylinders, and everything was there and everything was crisp and well executed. And I thought Matt Sydal, as well as the veteran, did a great job of kind of performing in that role of like someone who cares about Dante Martin, but he's still trying to win the match. And I thought that he pulled off his part in this tremendously. This really did a lot for me. I'm giving it a B+. I thought it was great. And I'm really pleased that things have turned around with Lio Rush the way that they have.
Absolutely, bro. I thought, this was a great little match. I was concerned that it might have been getting given a little bit too much time, which again leads me to thinking, what else could have you slotted in on the show, especially some backstage related stuff, but that's okay. There was an incredible move by Leo that we thought should have been the finish. I don't even know what you would call it, but it was quite the maneuver.
Yeah, that was like that weird, that was the double unprettier, like the double. So basically what he did was
he spun it around.
He locked him in for a kill, like a unprettier / kill switch, and then did an extra rotation in midair. So he spun around twice before landing. It was quite brutal.
Yeah, good finish to the match, and I think the right team went over. Moving forward, Miro with another one of his promos that just seemed to keep doing with him over the weeks. So, it's cool and all, but not really much to add there. It's
getting a little tired, man. Week. It's getting a little tired.
I would have liked to have seen at least some sort of interaction with him and Bryan on this show, even if it was just a stare down or
dude, why couldn't Miro
after the match? Maybe Miro's on the big screen after Bryan Danielson's match and he fucking says something to him or whatever.
Dude, even if he was on commentary or just got a chair and
that would have been a good idea.
Stage.
Good call. He should have been on commentary. That would have been funny, seeing Tony, JR, and Excalibur trying to call this match whilst he's being the way he is and keeps going on about his God and being so overly serious. Missed opportunity there. Well done, DJ. I will be recommending you as co-booker with Tony Khan when I next have my conversation with Tony, which will be never. Moving forward, a match that I thought was rather strange to be on the show, but, it still was involving a story. But it was nice to see Dax Harwood in a singles match for the first time. It's always been tag team stuff with him, obviously. Taking on Park. I'll just run through my notes quickly. So I thought it was kind of a weird pairing, but this match wore on. They were quite good together. They seemed to have a lot of chemistry, and makes me think that, one day in the distant future, Dax would be a fantastic singles guy, potentially a TNT champion if that team ever broke up, but I don't think they should for a very long time. There was a brain buster off the top, which was fucked, and I thought should have been maybe the finish. It went on too long. Again, could have utilized some of these minutes to at least maybe get Ricky Starks. So I just feel bad for Ricky Starks, bro. The dude has so much potential, and they're just doing nothing with him. Brian Cage doing nothing with him. Come on. There was an attack after the match, thankfully, from Cash Wheeler. Lights go out. Okay, now I'm pumped. Here comes Malachi. Here comes Andrade. And then, of course, we knew it was going to happen. Babyfaces come to make the save. Cody, of course, had to come from the crowd. He couldn't come out with the others. But again, it's kind of like, why? How was this coordinated at the same time? Bullshit. Okay, he should have come out from the entranceway because there's no way that they would coordinate two run-ins to make the save at the exact same time from different areas of the building. What, do they have fucking walkie-talkies?
Yeah.
And then after the match, would have taken a second. Cody should have grabbed a mic and said, hey, fucking dude, like you cunts. Hey, cunts. How about me and Park at the pay-per-view against you, Black, and you, Andrade, you son of a bitch. Just quickly. Not that this happened and then randomly later in the show, and the match has just been signed. Nah, I wanted to see a challenge be put into place. I wanted to see Cody and Pac look at each other like, look, man, like, let's fucking do this. I don't really know you. You don't really know me, but let's fucking do this. Something like that. You know, just a little bit of interaction between the two. Instead of it magically, they're going to be teaming up together out of the blue because Tony Khan. What did you think of this one, bro?
Yeah, look, I really liked the continuation of Andrade having this loose alliance with FTR. And, you know, I'm really pleased that they continued that on again. And now they've brought Malachi Black into that as well. You know what, man? I really enjoyed that. I liked that. It made sense because them all being together as heels, delivering the beatdown makes sense because we've seen them be connected loosely in previous episodes as, you know, allies. So that made sense. The opposite is true of the babyface thing. That was just another case of all these babyfaces are involved opposite these heels. So we're going to send them down there because it manages to fit all of those angles into one segment. You're right. It didn't make sense. There's no way that they all would have been standing there and going, oh, no, look at this beatdown. We got to do something. And then they start running off down the ramp, but Cody fucking pisses off up the steps to try to get out to the bleachers so he can come down through the crowd. Just ridiculous. You know, kind of fell off the rails a bit at that point. I will admit, Cody got himself a bit of a pump when he did hit the ring. He had some nice fire. In ring, there's really nothing wrong with Cody Rhodes. It's all his presentation and his character stuff that I think bothers people and pisses me off. And you know, so I'm gonna give this a C+ because I feel like once the baby faces ran in, it kind of started to drag it down. But tremendous match, and really loved seeing the continuity with the heels working together here in this situation.
Lovely, Jubbly. Moving forward, bro. MJF and Darby get a promo video for their upcoming match at Full Gear. I would have liked to have seen them at least interact on this show in some way. I know that there's only so much time, but again, you've given a few of these matches a bit of time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky, but I feel like this is a big marquee match for the pay-per-view and on your go-home show. I would have liked to have seen some sort of interaction. I don't know what you could have done, but again, you have a full arena to work with there. So who knows? But, bro, what did you think of this little promo video?
Yeah, I actually thought the promo video was pretty good. I'd probably give it a B+. I really enjoyed the actual content of the promo. So, like, they actually have Darby directly respond to some of the stuff MJF was saying in his promo. I like that. It feels more like a direct, you know, Darby is seeing the same video that we're seeing and we're getting his reaction to it, you know. I like that. I like that we're seeing MJF react to stuff that he's seeing from Darby Allin, and he doesn't like what he sees. That makes the whole issue between them feel more real and like it's actually something that's consuming their thoughts and energy day to day as they go look ahead to this match coming up. So yeah, pretty good.
Excellent, bro. Coming up next, we are seeing the Elite leaving the building. We are seeing the Dark Order leave the building. We didn't even know that they were there. We see them all leave the building, which is very smart because we haven't seen Don Callis for a few weeks. So we were all I was in the dark. I had no idea that Don would be a part of this at all. So we will get to that when we get to it. But that was a smart move to do that. Laughed. It's not often that the Elite can make me laugh because they're, to me, very painful when they're trying to be funny. But I did laugh at Cutler having a bag thrown at him as well. This guy is just always just taking so much shit and he doesn't care. He just lets it keep going. But yeah, that was funny. And I just like those like tiny little details there. So that was nice. Wow, look at me. I'm being positive. After fucking 7 or 8 weeks of me being fucking pissed off the whole time. I'm just going to go through my notes here on this contract signing first, bro. I don't mean to take this one, to take too many things first here on this review. One thing I noticed straight away, Kenny tried to place the belt on the it's such a small detail, but like if I was backstage, and I'm not fucking just saying this for the sake of it, I know all about this, okay? I know how difficult it is to make a belt sit up whilst it's all locked in at the back, when all the buttons are all pushed in at the back. Because I have one at home and I can't sit it up because when you try and do that, there's too much weight at the front of it and it just falls down. You need to
unclasp
take it out. Unclasp it and have the two sides like that. Or the two leather straps like that, and then hopefully the bottom of the plate at the front will prop it upward. That's how you do it. I noticed it kept falling down and Tony had to keep holding it up. And if you don't want to do that, then they need a little stand to put it on. It's a small detail, but it kind of looked a little bit silly that Tony had to like keep holding the thing up. Anyway, that's just a little nitpick. The contract was funny to me because, you know, the front of it looked like something that I would have printed off when I would do a contract signing in my old backyard wrestling fed. The verbiage was fantastic. I liked the back and forth. They did pay attention to the history of the story between the two of them. That's very good. That should work very nicely with a video package if they want to do something like that. They should think about like a WrestleMania fucking 17 video package with Austin and Rock with that My Way from Limp Bizkit. Everyone remembers that. We need a nice fucking 4 or 5 minute package on the whole history leading up to this before that main event, because if you play that for that live crowd, they're going to be even more fucking pumped up for it. So the verbiage was fantastic. Kenny hasn't signed the contract yet as he's leaving the ring. I did notice that it was a bit weird that this cameraman like stepped in the way. Again, very smart work there with how you put out this segment and put it together, because it was something that was noticeable, but you didn't think much of it. You just thought, oh, just another production problem with AEW. No. Because it's like, why would two cameramen be like right next to each other? That's silly. Then all of a sudden, Don this cameraman fucking clocks Hangman with the camera.
Hard as well. He hit it hard.
Yeah. Kenny gets in the ring. Tony's fucking disgusted. He leaves. And the cameraman turns around, takes off the mask. Thank God for COVID for something like this. Takes off the face mask, takes off the facial hair. It's Don Callis. We haven't seen him in weeks. It's like, oh, thank you for finally doing something that I didn't see coming and just making me excited for this matchup coming up at the pay-per-view. So a great end to the show, signing it in his blood. I would have got a fucking pen, one of those pens that you need to dip into the ink. I think Vince did it with Hogan. Get the blood in that pen and actually write it on the contract. That would have been better than just using your finger and squiggling on it. But that's another nitpick. Bro, what did you think of the final segment of the show? We don't go off the air because of a match. We go off the air because of a segment. That's rare in AEW.
Yeah, I really liked Adam Page's comments in this match. I like that he referenced Omega's former tag team from his Japan days, which I believe is it's not Kojima. I'll get that. I'll remember that at some point. So he referenced Kenny's old tag team, who was kind of overshadowed him back at that time. And how, the two of them had a similar division in their team to what Kenny and Adam Page had in their team later on. So I liked that. I liked that he's kind of drawing on reality and drawing on their past to kind of like, make this issue feel more full. So I liked that. He came across really well. He was looking fly. He had a great shirt on. Kenny Omega enjoyed his mic work as well. He kind of was discussing about how, look, I have always seen you as the future of professional wrestling. I have been doing this because I know that one day you are going to be the next person to inherit the throne. And so he's almost trying to turn it around now. And this is what great heels do, Carl, where even though he's saying, yes, I did all this terrible shit to you and I treated you horribly, but I did it for your own good. So he's now an abuser that's blaming the abuse victim here. Very good. Twisted logic. Kenny Omega then almost came across it like it was a little bit of a babyface thing to say. He was saying, look, you can say whatever you want about me. You may hate my guts. You may never want to team with me again or be my friend anymore. That's fine. I'll always respect you, and I want to shake your hand one more time before the match. Very classy, gentlemanly thing to do. And you're like, oh, it has to be a setup behind this. I thought it was just going to be a simple, like, they go to shake hands. Kenny clocks him. No. They shake hands. Kenny then lays in another nice barb and says, thanks, Adam, like, good job, referencing the compliment he once gave him when Adam Page was still a rookie. So that was a backhanded compliment and got a nice reaction from the crowd. At that point, the Don Callis appearance that Carl just described occurred. This was tremendous as far as creating an issue going into Full Gear for the title match and having some heat on this main event match. However, I do not believe that Adam Page should necessarily win the title. I still think that it's not quite time yet. If you wait just a little bit longer, then you can build that anticipation up to a fever pitch to the point where the fans just can't deal with it anymore. They can't deal with him not being the champion anymore, and they're going to riot if he doesn't win. That is the level that you need to wait until it's time to pull that trigger, so that when they finally do, it's just this massive, it'll be a historic moment in the company's history in 10 years' time. If they do this right and do it at the right time, I don't think Full Gear is that time. There's still too much attention going to CM Punk and Bryan Danielson right now to sort of try and anoint Adam Page as your top guy and your champion right at this moment. And I
bro.
Yeah. Did I give the segment a grade?
Yeah. No, not yet. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm going to give it a B+.
Excellent, bro. Yeah, no, it is a bit of a weird thing, because like he only just came back, only like a few weeks back, and all of a sudden he's in the random fucking ladder match that we didn't end up watching because we weren't. That was the one episode we didn't see. Mm-hmm. And from there they've had 5 weeks, I suppose, to build to this, and I'm just not sure if that is enough time, if there's enough content between then and now. Yes, I'm aware that there were things that happened last year, but we only started watching this in fucking late July. So, maybe wait it out until the Battle of the Belts show that they're going to be having in January. I believe that this is like their new version of Clash of the Champions. I would probably wait until then to anoint him, and maybe because it's on TV, you will pop a nice rating Who knows? All right, bro. Well, finally, after many weeks, I think September 22nd, that show we enjoyed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 shows since then that we have not really enjoyed. I'll run through those ratings. 29th of September, 3 from you, 1 from me. October 16th, we both gave it a 4. October 23rd, we both gave it a 1. 27th, you gave it a 5. I gave it a 3.5. And last week, you gave it 6.5, and I gave it 4.5. What's your rating this week, bro?
This week, I am pleased to be able to give Dynamite a 7. It is a low 7. You know, we don't go that granular with our ratings, but it's closer to 6 than it is to 8. It's that kind of 7.
Yeah, I will give this a 7.5. I enjoyed most of the show. I liked all the heat that was on the show, building to this pay-per-view. I thought it was a good show. It just annoys me that it took 5 weeks of, maybe nearly 6 weeks of shit television that pissed us off in order to get to a show that was actually good. So that's it, bro. Looking forward to Full Gear this weekend. Let's see how they go. Have you got anything else to say, bro?
Nope, that's just about it. Fuck you.
Fuck you too. All right, bro. Well, let everyone out there know where they can find your ugly ass.
Yeah, no. So I'm on Instagram, juicy_boy, Twitch @juicyboy. Help me get to affiliate. Twitter @juicyboy, Facebook.com/juicyboy, YouTube.com/juicyboy. And just in case you don't know how to spell it, that spelling once again is JOOSEYBOY. That's Juicy Boy. And I'll see you on social media, folks.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at Karlifornia WZWA, KARLIFORNIAWZWA. You see us here on YouTube. Click subscribe, click the like button, click the bell, and then you can see all the other shit that we're doing. We don't just do reviews, we do a whole heap of shit. Find us on twitch.tv/WCWA Network. Tomorrow night we will be streaming live some great variety video games. We've got a podcast on there on the YouTube, The Insider's Edge. Right now we have an interview with Madman Pondo up next week. The one and only John Arezzi will be on the show as we're heading toward episode 100 of the podcast. Please, if you like IRC chat, please find the Ryzen Network. And if you go on there, go to the room called #Wrestling. Great community of people in there, fans of AEW, NXT, Impact, all of that shit. And they're just a fun bunch of people to chat to. Yeah. And anywhere else, every other platform you can think of, if you type in WCWA Network, you will find us there. So, Juicy Boy, thank you again for your time here today and tonight to watch this show and review.
It was my fucking pleasure, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro. My pleasure too, you son of a bitch. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you out there, all of you sons of bitches, for watching this review here of AEW Dynamite on the WZWA Network. And we will see you down the road.